Thank you very much. Let's hear it for Dr. Margaret Cuomo and Bill Cousins, my heroes. Thank you, Dr. Cuomo, for pointing out that President Clinton called me one of the most thoughtful members of the House of Representatives. I take issue with that because competition ain't that stiff, actually. I've been watching this place. I did announce that I would not seek re-election, which makes me my own disease state. At the NIH, I'm a recovering congressman. I just couldn't bear to ask another donor, spend another day asking another donor for another dollar. So I've decided to go do other things, and I wrote a novel last year that did very well, and so I have a few more books in me, and I'll be doing other things. Now, so the bad news for some is that I'll be leaving the United States Congress. The good news is I now have 11 months, Bill Cousins, Margaret Cuomo, 11 months to focus on this cause without having to be distracted by the agony of fundraising and campaigns and opponents. I have 11 months of liberation to focus on this cause, which explains, one of my colleagues said, well, you know, what is it like when you wake up in the morning and you don't have those words on your schedule, call time, which is your fundraising obligation. You don't wake up in the morning and you don't have to worry about an opponent or the grittiness of politics. I said, well, I'll tell you what, I went to my doctor a couple of days ago. I said, doctor, I have something wrong with the muscles in my face. They just don't seem normal. The doctor said, yeah, it's called a smile. That's what's happening. So over the next 11 months and beyond, in or out of Congress, I'm going to continue to focus on this issue and hope to be able to continue working with Dr. Cuomo and with Bill. Bill is so persistent, so tenacious, and so demanding, he doesn't even take yes for an answer. He just keeps coming and coming and coming, and I'm going to keep serving and serving and serving Bill Cousins. And we have a good foundation. You know, we have a $2 billion increase at NIH, a $264 million increase at NCI. What I'm really excited about, which I know you've talked a lot about, is that Vice President Biden will be doing this moonshot on cancer. I could never understand why a country that had the engineers and the grit and the determination and the budgets and the political will to send Americans to the moon couldn't figure out how to treat my father, who died of lung cancer. Could just never understand that. And now I think we have a real opportunity because we've built this foundation. But we also have some work to do, and I'll just be another minute and then turn it over to the speaker who was so gracious enough to allow me to say a few words. I have to run to a classified briefing that starts in 15 minutes. We still have some work to do. And on the macro level, I want to say, I'm going to take this opportunity to tell you that one of the most profoundly important things that we should be doing is, this is a little off topic, but one of the most profoundly important things we should be doing is to enact meaningful campaign finance reform in this country so that members of Congress can spend their time trying to figure out how to increase investments in cancer and not have to spend their time figuring out increased investments in their re-elections. You know, we have special interests in this country, and I'm not going to single them out, but I think we'd all be a lot better off if the only special interest who mattered was a neighbor, a relative, a constituent who just got a diagnosis of cancer. That's the most important special interest that we have, and that's a special interest that we ought to be focusing on, and that will happen if we enact meaningful campaign finance reform in this Congress. Secondly, I have been working on a bill called the Cleaning Products Right to Know. I get concerned when people are scrubbing their floors or washing or scrubbing their mirrors, cleaning their countertops that food is on, cleaning their babies' rooms, with products that contain chemicals that aren't fully disclosed. And so I've decided, Bill, that I will take the next 11 months to do everything I can to pass that Cleaning Products Right to Know, because people have the right to know what's in those products, and I'm going to be focusing on that. And the final thing I'm going to be doing is working with Bill and Margaret to pass National Cancer Prevention Day. We introduced that bill last year. We've introduced it again. We want to declare February 4th as National Cancer Prevention Day. It has a dozen bipartisan co-sponsors. I'm going to take to the floor, and we're going to build those numbers. And I'm so proud to announce that while I will be leaving, the bill will be remaining, because next year, one of the most fearless members of the House of Representatives on this issue is going to be taking over that bill, and her name is Congresswoman Debbie Dingell from the state of Michigan. You're going to be hearing from her later. So these are my priorities. This will continue to be my focus. I want to, you thanked me, let me close by thanking you. There are issues that many of my colleagues engage in because they have to. There are some issues that my colleagues engage in because they really want to. This is an issue that I have engaged in and led on because it is personally important to me, as it is to my constituents. When I'm home in New York's 3rd Congressional District, I can't tell you how many people approach me and say, Congressman, I know it's a complicated world out there. I know there's terrorism. I know there's ISIS. I know there's Daesh. I know the economy is in trouble. We're surrounded by threat, and we're surrounded by danger, and we're surrounded by pessimism. I'm not asking you necessarily to solve all those problems, but can't you at least do more to help my parent, my child, my brother, my sister, my friend, my neighbor who has cancer? We can do this because we've done it before, and I want to thank you for giving me that privilege. Thank you all very much, and God bless you.